Welcome to JVR Industries. Today we're going to cover preventing freezer burn. Preventing freezer burn is something we all want to achieve in our households. Most everyone has experienced this unpleasantness of grabbing a package of pepperoni out of your freezer, anticipating, a nice homemade pepperoni pizza, and to your dismay, the whole bag of meat that has been freezing for longer than you had anticipated has turned a strange brown color, and you know from experience it does not taste good. This is a frustrating place to be, and we would like to address this firsthand. Today we are here to help you with the question of how can you stop this situation from happening to you. If you're looking to freeze meat or any other product based on experience, we have found that if you invest in the right materials, damage due to freezing your product will become the least of your worries. We will walk you through a discussion of how freezer burn occurs and how JVR Industries provides the soundest way to affirm that you can freeze any of your products without forming freezer burn for an unbeatable range of time. Stay tuned. Welcome back, guys. So the question is, what is freezer burn? Freezer burn damage usually occurs around a couple of months into freezing a product. It can be spotted by the appearance of discoloration, pink striations, or ice crystals forming on the body surface of a freezing product. Now, if you happen to not take a close enough look, you will assuredly notice the bland taste once you bite into that gritty or toughened texture of the product that had been freezing. Freezing a product for too long without proper precautions can cause frozen spoilage. This will take effect prominently on the color, taste, texture, and aroma of the food you freeze. Now, it is often the myth that freezer damaged food is unhealthy to eat. This is not necessarily the case and does not contain bacteria. With this in mind, you might be able to feed freezer burnt meat to your animals. But to the human species, we can certainly agree that consuming this is not preferred. You all might be asking yourself, how does the freezer burn form, if you don't already know? Well, food damage due to freezing occurs as a result of a process called desiccation, meaning the removal of moisture. The atmosphere within a freezer is dry due to the moisture freezing. If the freezing product is exposed to this dry atmosphere, the water particles within the product want to escape to compensate for that, lack of moisture. The escaping water particles end up freezing on the surface of the product to create ice crystals upon contact with the freezing temperatures, and a discolored appearance as the moisture is pulled out and freezes. Now, generally, the slower the product freezes, the larger the water particles grow. Consequently, the bigger the size of the water particles escaping, the more cell membranes within the product break, causing alterations in smell, look, and taste. Now to the meat of this entire video, the answer you have all been looking for: how to prevent freezer burn. Multiple protocols exist to avoid freezer damage. We have seen that some of the most common include ensuring the temperature in the freezer is even colder than freezing temp to minimize the amount of time it takes for the product to freeze. Limiting the number of times the freezer is open, which decreases the temperature, causing the freezing product to thaw and then have to freeze over again. And packaging food to freeze in a plastic zipper bag or storage container. Now, although these protocols may be effective for a time, how would you directly address the reason freezer damage food occurs or freezer burn? The answer is quite simple, actually. We have found that chamber vacuum sealing is the most effective and efficient way to ensure your product does not come into contact with the dryness in the freezer, and therefore eliminates the need for the moisture to escape the product. Chamber vacuum sealing removes about 99.8% of the air to ensure that no chance for freezer burn is possible. Now, as a result, the product will maintain its moisture and not go to waste. Now you might want an explanation as to why chamber vacuum sealing is most effective to freeze your products without threat of freezer burn. Well, as explained before, chamber vacuum sealing your product before freezing takes out up to 99.8% of the air out of the pouch, ensuring that the product has the least possible contact with the dry atmosphere in the freezer. Now, while the vacuum sealer pulls close to all the air out, it also creates an airtight seal, eliminating the possibility of entering or leaving the pouch. With minimal contact and no possibility of it leaving or entering the product, is allowed to hold its moisture and maintain optimal quality. Now, plastic zipper bags and storage containers may store your product for a shorter range of time. Still, the amount of space that is left within the packaging is outstanding compared to what is accomplished by a chamber vacuum sealer. This substantial difference causes a much greater risk of freezer damage using alternative options for freezing products. Okay, so let's compare the chamber vacuum pouches that are used in the chamber vacuum sealers versus your standard plastic bags. So standard plastic zipper bags are not capable of being used for vacuum sealing, in addition to being permeable due to the materials used to manufacture them. The likelihood of air seeping into the bag and further causing freezer damage is possible. Vacuum sealing uses a pouch, guarantees an airtight seal, and eliminates that chance, allowing you to freeze your product, knowing the chance of freezer damage is at the minimum. Now, what makes our chamber vacuum sealer the ideal choice? It's a great question. JVR Industries stands out from our competitors as we have specialized in vacuum packaging since 1972. Yeah, that's over 50 years of experience. Our company prides itself on carrying chamber vacuum machines that produce results to stand out from our competitors. The chamber vacuum machines we carry, such as the Vac 100 and the Vac 110, pull around 99.8% of the air from the pouches before sealing them off. Considering the amount being pulled during vacuum sealing, this allows for minimal contact with the dryness within the freezer. Accordingly, the product maintains its moisture in contrast to alternative packaging options. Now you might be asking yourself, what about these edge suction external vacuum sealers such as Food Saver? Well, let's quickly cover that as well. Some companies may suggest the alternative of using edge suction and external vacuum sealers. Still, these cannot vacuum seal liquids, and they remove 19.8% less air than a chamber vac with an oil pump. The chamber vacuum sealers we provide have the option to package any products containing liquids or any amount of moisture that is not provided by an external vacuum sealer. If you freeze products containing liquids, a chamber vacuum sealer is ideal. And these guys, the pumps inside these units, will slowly corrode if you use liquids. So make sure you learn a little bit more about dry piston versus oil lubricated rotary vane vacuum pumps in these two units. And I'll tag a little video in the upper corner here. Well guys, it was really great having you. Please leave in the comments below about all the failures you've experienced with freezer burn and edge suction external vacuum sealers, or even just Ziploc bags. If you have had a lot of failures regarding these guys and having that freezer burn, leave them in the comments below. And if you have any further questions regarding how to prevent freezer burn, feel free to leave those in the comments below as well. Before I let you guys go, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell if you like this type of content. That way you can be totally updated on every single video we release regarding vacuum packaging. I want to thank you guys so much for joining in, and we'll see you guys next time. Have a great one.